Ever wonder why you still remember the name of someone you haven't seen in 20 years? Someone who taught you long division and the difference between there and there when you were 8? You're sitting at your desk on a random Tuesday, halfway through answering an email, when suddenly you remember Mrs. Henderson's classroom. The smell of dry erase markers, the way she tapped her ruler against the chalkboard exactly 3 times before making an important point. Now imagine you're trying to explain to someone why this matters. Why this person you knew for maybe 9 months maximum somehow carved out permanent real estate in your brain. Good luck with that explanation. Here's what nobody tells you about elementary school teachers. They're operating at the exact moment when your brain is most receptive to imprinting, when you're forming your baseline understanding of how adults behave, how learning works, whether the world is safe or scary. It's basically psychological sleeper cell programming, but with spelling tests. Picture the mechanics of it. You're 6, 7, 8 years old. This adult spends more waking hours with you than your own parents do. They're the authority figure who either makes you feel brilliant or stupid, seen or invisible, capable or hopeless. Cue the motivational posters about teachers changing lives, but what's actually happening is something far more specific and strange. Your 3rd grade teacher didn't just teach you multiplication tables. They taught you whether adults could be trusted, whether mistakes were catastrophic, whether asking questions made you smart or annoying. Maybe yours was the one who noticed you reading during recess and slipped you harder books without making a big deal about it. Or the one who let you eat lunch in the classroom when the cafeteria got too loud. Or the one who called on you even when your hand wasn't raised because they knew you knew the answer but were too scared to volunteer it. Here's the really wild part. That teacher probably has no idea they're living rent-free in your head right now. They taught hundreds, maybe thousands of kids. You were 1 year in a 30-year career. They've forgotten most of their students' names. But you remember theirs. You remember what they wore. You remember the specific way they laughed or the particular phrase they used when someone was talking during silent reading. Some say it's just nostalgia. Others argue it's genuine formative impact. Who's right? Probably both, which doesn't make it any less weird. Now fast forward to your adult life. You've had bosses, mentors, professors, managers, people with more expertise, more authority, more direct influence on your career and income. Yet somehow, none of them compete with Miss Rodriguez and her patient explanations of fractions. The irony is that you probably couldn't even tell someone exactly what this teacher did that was so special. It wasn't one grand gesture. It was 1,000 tiny moments of being treated like a person who mattered, of having someone believe you were capable before you believed it yourself. You've tried Googling them, haven't you? Typed their name into Facebook at 2 in the morning, found either nothing or 17 people with the same name, none of whom are the right person. They vanish into the same mysterious void where all retired teachers apparently go. Maybe they're in Arizona, maybe they're dead, maybe they're still teaching, still tapping that ruler 3 times, still helping some new generation of kids learn to read. You'll probably never know. Here's what persists though. The voice in your head when you're learning something difficult that says, you can figure this out, often sounds suspiciously like them. The way you talk to kids your own or other people's has their fingerprints all over it. The standards you hold yourself to were often set in a classroom with alphabet posters on the wall. As critics pile on about the education system, about standardized testing, about teacher burnout and inadequate pay, you just keep thinking about one person who showed up every day and made you feel like you mattered. That's not nothing. Despite all the changes in education, technology, despite smartboards replacing chalkboards and tablets replacing textbooks, the same core dynamic persists. One adult and a room full of kids. And whether that adult makes those kids feel seen or invisible still matters more than any curriculum. You catch yourself doing things they taught you, checking your work, reading instructions twice, being kind to the weird kid, not even realizing where you learned it until the memory surfaces, sharp and clear 30 years later. The truth is, you'll probably never see this person again. Never get to say thank you as an adult who finally understands what they were doing. Never get to tell them that the reason you can do your job, raise your kids, navigate the world with some baseline level of competence traces back to their classroom. That's the game behind the headlines about Teacher Appreciation Week and viral videos of grateful students returning to thank their educators. For every one of those reunions, there are millions of us carrying invisible debts to people we'll never find again. But just wait, tomorrow you'll walk past an elementary school and smell that specific combination of cafeteria, food, and floor cleaner, and you'll be 8 years old again, and Mrs. Henderson will be real again, and you'll wonder if she ever thinks about you too. She probably doesn't, but somehow that makes it matter more.